AFTV, I'm here with a true legend, and I apologise, just catching you straight after the game. You know what I mean? You're blowing a bit, you're sweating a little bit, so I apologise for that. But you know what? Watching you still got it. I saw that little assist you done, all the little touches and that, and then I saw the advice you were just giving to the guys at the end of the game as well. So tactically, I mean, it was brilliant watching you.
Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody that knows me very well knows that I love to play football. I'm still playing now. I'm trying to play twice a week, but only with friends. So, but when you've got an organisation like this that Josh has put on with the Play with the Legend, is when these guys come in, you've got a varying difference of ability. And you could see that today in my team. We're not as strong as the blue team. So what you need to do is at half time is we just want to try and just go through a few things to eliminate where they're so powerful over us, and just show the guys what you can actually do with a little bit of organisation. And we did that in the second half. So it's great to play. I mean, I love playing. It's nice to give some advice. And some of the guys, they want to try and make you along the way as well. So that's their moment for them. But I love still playing. So if anybody asks me for a game of football, I'm straight there.
And you know what I loved about it is I've seen some of these games and the legends will come play and they do that. But it was the way you really engaged with them. I think they really appreciated that. The way you was giving them advice on that.
Yeah, I think what's important, I think, is not to be over the top. Is to the point of coming here and playing with ex-players is enjoyment. So you want to have a little bit of a structure, but you want these guys to showcase their skills as well. But also at the same time, you want to show them what you can do with some organisation, and that's what you can do in the Arsenal hub here. A little six-a-side. You can use all your ability. You're playing off the boards, but you can compete as well. My team competed in the second half with a little bit more by, I would say, organisation than sheer ability, which the blue team had over us.
Now listen, do you miss it playing? I mean, you won everything playing, FA Cups, leagues, you was there in the George Graham era, you was there in the Arsene Wenger era, you're a true legend of this football club. Do you miss playing?
You always miss it,
Yeah.
Hence why I'm still playing now and still trying to stay, fit enough to be competitive. You have to accept certain scenarios when you come up against the young guys, because they've got the pace, they've got the power, you know what they're going to do, but sometimes you just haven't got that, not the ability, but the power to stay with them now. But I love still playing, and of course you miss it. It's I've always said, so proud, so honoured to play for Arsenal Football Club. It's a real privilege. And hopefully that came through when I stuck on that red shirt every single week, because all you need to do is give 100%. Everybody knows there's going to be occasions when you don't play very, very well, but if the fans see you giving everything, then they appreciate what you're trying to achieve, and you keep them on board with you in those difficult periods. But I've got to say, from the George Graham period through to the Arsene Wenger period, I think I played at a sensational time at this football club. And
so you one of them who made it a sensational time.
Yeah, but I played with some great players. We had some great organisation under George Graham, some flair under Arsene Wenger, and winning trophies along the way with it sort of not only brought a lot of joy to the team, but also the fans together. And I think that's what brings and unites the fans and the players when you're going through those good periods. It sort of makes you stronger together, and as I said to you, it was a great time to be here.
Two great managers you played under that really shaped this football club in recent times. I'm going to ask you a bit of an impossible question now. Who was the better?
Do you know what? I think that's a very, very unfair question, because, and I'll explain why. Because I think one success leads on to the other. So if you don't have the George Graham success, you don't get the Arsene Wenger success. And I tell you why. Because George Graham was amazing tactically. He identified the players he wanted. He wasn't afraid to bring them in from the lower leagues, and myself coming in from lower leagues really. And then what he does is he shapes his team, he organises his team, he gets a structure, but he's got players that are very, very hungry and desire to win a game of football, with the ability as well, because you've got to have that. So that started it off. And then when Arsene Wenger came, what he started to do was he used that little bit of shape that we had under George Graham. And then he started to introduce what I'd call some flair players. And Arsene Wenger was about the attacking side of the game. So put the defensive unit together with the attacking flair through midfield and up front, and you had a sensational team. So I think without one, you don't get the other. Listen, I think when you're successful, you'll play any way that the manager's asking you to play. Listen, I played for Wimbledon, which was a long ball style. People criticise us, but while you're out there playing, you love it because you know that teams are afraid to play you. I think we worked the hardest under any team under George Graham. I don't think there was anyone fitter and worked harder than us in the league at that time. And then you take the flair side of it onto Arsene Wenger as well. So I admire both managers. If you ask me, I'd love to play the way Arsene Wenger played every single time, particularly the team of, I've always said I thought the team of 98 was such a superb team, but both managers need to be given the status of fantastic and great managers at this football club. So it's very hard to say which one would you prefer. I know which style I prefer, but I think one leads into the other, and I think one sets up the other. And George Graham started it, Arsene Wenger took it on and developed it. And
there's one manager now that's got a full of both of those two, which is really difficult, and that's Unai Emery. Like what you've seen of him so far?
Yeah, I've seen. I did the game live against Chelsea in Dublin. Watched highlights of the other games. You can see he's identified the areas where he thought that we needed to be re-strengthened. He's done that, and now we want to see with those players coming in how they gel together with the players that are here. Looking forward to seeing the system. There's so many. I think surprises, if you like, to come along the way. You know, trying to pick a team. We might not get a good understanding in the next couple of games, but when everyone's fully fit, what's his team going to be? What's his formation going to be? Tactically, is he going to change it within a game? I think it's an exciting period. It's also, for me, it's a little bit of a nervous period as well because you're not sure what's going to happen. But excuse me, I think what you need is he needs those supporters to be with him and behind him, particularly early in the season, because it looks to me as if at times early in the games we're looking to press, and if you press high up the pitch and you don't get it quite right, you can get played through very, very quickly. So it'd be interesting to see today how we set up and what we do against what is considered to be the out-and-out favourite to win the title. So it's going to be a good afternoon. It's going to be a tough afternoon. But we're going to have to get everything right to come away with some points.
Predictions for today? I mean, how do you see it going? It's a tough game. The hardest possible start you could get is against Man City.
I don't know whether it is the hardest start. For me, I think I'd always rather play. Listen, unless you're playing a big team coming in a few weeks that are really out of form, you don't want to be playing one of the top teams when they're rolling 10 straight victories in a row. So I think it's a good period to play Manchester City. They've got a fantastic squad, but some of their players have just come back from the World Cup as well. It's like anything though, we haven't got any form to go on at the moment. As we said, we know Man City are the title favourites, but we've got to put everything together today and give them a game. And if we do that, we're quite capable of coming away with some points. But we know realistically it's going to be difficult, but we're at home and we've got to show them what we can do.
Well, listen, Nigel, it's been an absolute pleasure. Great to see you out there, and great to listen to you afterwards as well. What about management, coaching?
No, thank you. It's all right giving some of the amateur guys some advice, but I had a couple of little goes at coaching. I realised very quickly it's not for me. I love being associated with the club, doing the corporate side and doing some other work for the club. So and other little bits of media work. That's enough for me. It keeps me busy, it keeps me happy, and it allows me to keep playing as well. So no, coaching for me, no.
All right, well, listen, good luck with everything in the future, and just keep doing what you're doing. We love it.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, thanks.
Thank you.